Alright, welcome back to Paleo Talks, and today we dive into the Triassic seas. Now, life has finally is finally interesting enough in both the seas and on the land for me to do an episode on both. We covered most of the major Triassic land life last episode, and today we're going to cover the sea life and amphibious stuff. I kind of bunch them together. So this is our first contestant, the amphibious Tanistropheus. I am pronouncing that correctly, I checked it. And here's our friend, and you can see this thing is quite large, but in the grand scheme of things with dinosaurs and how large they get, it's not that big. It's got this crazy neck, so this may conjure up images of Elasmosaurus and other later Jurassic, late Jurassic, mid to late Jurassic, early Cretaceous plesiosaurs. And scientists aren't sure if it's related, but it certainly seems to have evolved the same adaptations, and it fed a lot like they did, with the long necks going through to snatch out fish and squid and things. This lived by the seashores. It's, amphibious. It lived partly on land, partly in the water. And you get a nice big picture of it. And scientists aren't sure about this, but I kind of like this idea, is that its tail can break off sort of like a lizard and wiggle around. There is no evidence to substantiate that, but that's cool. I mean, it sort of looks like a big lizard. It's not related. It might be. Again, early Triassic, it's still kind of rocky what we know about it, because this is several 100 million years ago. It's a long time. It's hard for fossils to last. So you can see here, its eyes aren't very large. So it's not really sure, scientists aren't sure whether or not it had good eyesight, just because its head is also so tiny. Now we have a turtle, Henodus, kind of a mouthful, and it's a really weird looking turtle. So its legs just stick out the back like that, and you can see it better by our friend here. And its legs and tail just kind of stick out the back, but its arms are it's a crazy looking turtle. This is one of the first turtles ever to evolve. It's one of the earliest ones. It's quite not exceptionally large. And here's Placidus. Now Placidus is actually what evolves into Henodus. Henodus is a placid did. It is related. This is an ancestor to it. And these are both vegetarians. They go down, they eat sea moss, sort of like a marine iguana. And here's a good image of Placidus. And you can see it's got a stocky body. It's sort of turtle looking already. It already kind of looks like a turtle. It just doesn't have a shell. It looks like a turtle without a shell. And, it takes that next step to evolve the shell. And here is the mean one of these stalking these shallow waters. Note the source. This is just a silhouette, and you can already see how crazy this bastard's teeth are. And here's our buddy, who's luckily something. I don't know. He's maybe he's got invisibility or something. I don't know. They can't see him. And this poor fish is really dead at this point. It's got these big giant teeth, as you can see here, and these are great for snapping at fast-moving prey, like the poor fish right there. Also squid, and I wager it could sever a Tanistropheus' neck. So this is the apex predator of the shallow waters. Again, largely amphibious, largely aquatic, but able to be amphibious. You can see it's got this big bulging eye right there. You can't see it super well in this picture, but you can see it pretty well in this one. And this thing is like a crocodile, but I don't really know how to describe it. It's a crazy looking crocodile thing. In a nutshell. Not related, it's not actually a crocodilian, but it looks like a crocodile. And it probably filled that niche, the niche of the saltwater crocodile. Really what it does. So then we have, as the final picture today, one of our largest yet. I think this is the largest animal we've featured on this show. Shuniosaurus. A massive ichthyosaur and one of the first to evolve. And this is what hunts the deep seas, deeper seas. And they go inland to feed, again, on squid and fish. You know, in general, life as a squid or fish is just god-awful. Especially in prehistory. Remember, kids, don't be a squid. Or you get eaten by this thing or that thing. Or you will get eaten by everything on this list. Except for the turtles. So, this thing is just absolutely huge. Here's a little human, only about 1.8 meters. And this thing is a solid 15 meters long. I have no idea how many feet that is. But it's a lot. Meters about 3 feet. 15. It's about 90 feet long. That is huge. This thing is massive. And it's kind of less like a predator or a hunting agile swimmer, more like just a big fat submarine. Now the interesting thing about all these animals and all plesiosaurs I will be featuring later in this, these are all air breathers. They do not have gills. They need to go up to the surface and breathe air. Of course, they can hold their breath for a very long time. This is the Triassic seas, as I said. Next week, we will be hitting up the Jurassic land. And depending on how much I get covered then, we might be going to the seas or we might continue on land. Because the Jurassic has a lot to cover.